Welcome to the second edition of Friday Favorites, where I take 10 of the newest and most interesting listings in a given market and we break down location, prices, and features to give you even more real-time insight. For those new to the channel, I'm Adam Hancock. I have a real estate group in Southwest Florida and spent much of my career as a financial analyst. We do daily content, put out a bunch of information, and there's a lot of helpful links in the description below. And listings is going to be the Tampa, Florida area. I'm going to talk quickly about Tampa as a whole, and then we'll hop in and check out some of what's going on in the market. So Tampa is a equally interesting area, as well as hard to get your head around, much more confusing in my mind than even Sarasota. It's just a lot of little pockets, so you got to kind of know what you're looking at. So basically we have, as far as like, if you looked at the Tampa area as a whole, you have the Hillsborough County, so you have the Tampa city limits, but you have Brandon, Riverview, you have Lutz, you have all these fringe places or whatever that make up the kind of the greater Tampa Bay area if you're not counting the coast here. So what you have basically, as far as like what people would consider like hot areas, you have kind of around like a normal city around the downtown areas, South Tampa, Hyde Park, if you've ever heard that area. You have Channelside, you have a lot of where the hospital is at and the airport. You have all these areas that people are running to work, play, etc. And then around that, you have kind of the fringes. So you have Town and Country and West Chase and Carrollwood, and kind of these suburbs, a little bit more like suburban housing, a little bit more affordability as you kind of, a normal kind of getting off the beaten path here a bit. But a lot of great areas, a lot of things going on. There's the zoo, there's Busch Gardens, mixed use spaces. Hillsborough County, super forward thinking. So it really is becoming a lovely place for people of all ages. Now that we have that preface, let's hop over and take a look at 10 of the newest listings to the market. Okay, our first listing today is going to be a condominium, so you can kind of see here. This one is in the towers of Channelside. So locationally, this one sits right here. Channelside is an area where the Tampa Bay Lightning are located. This is where Jeffrey Vinnick does a lot of development, the owner of the Lightning. And you can kind of see the attraction here. So this is kind of the best of everything, right? It runs along the river. You have the bay. Of course, Tampa's inland, so the beach is going to be in the Pinellas County. You have the bay. You have South Tampa, all the restaurants, kind of right in the meat of it. And the condominium kind of gives you a luxury version of that. So let's take a look here. So this one is listed at $950,000. It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, and it's 1 day on the market. So this one's kind of like a lot of condominiums. This one's just chock full of luxury. So it's got panoramic water views of the Garrison Channel. It's very close to, within walking distance, to Sparkman Wharf, which is, again, a Jeffrey Vinnick. I think it's a Jeffrey Vinnick and Bill Gates development. They kind of have a fund. So it's mixed-use spaces. They have all these pods containers that they turned into restaurants, and it's got open container like alcohol on the dock. It's a cool little spot, very walkable. And it's close to the Florida Aquarium, etc. So Channelside is the district, if you're not familiar. So this one, kind of nice layout. You're paying a lot more for location here because the inside, it's okay, but a little anticlimactic except for the dock. So as far as amenities on this, this is going to be condominium living, so it's $1,200 a month. But what you're getting is a resort-style infinity pool and a spa. It's got a grotto, sun deck, cabanas, a clubhouse, indoor-outdoor bars, grills, and again, you're just in this is Sparkman's Wharf here, kind of wraps around here. You're just kind of in the heart, right? So this is a lovely area. If you really want that kind of mixed-use, urban kind of work, play, walk to everything lifestyle, this runs right along the river, and again, very lovely. So condos aren't for everybody, but I wanted to kind of introduce these. I've been kind of hot on this locational plays as the market gets even harder to buy single families. Again, so $950,000 condominium at the towers of Channelside. We're going to hop to Davis Island. So Davis Island sits right here. You're going to see it highlighted here. So this is a townhome, and Davis Island, you can kind of see that pocket. It's awesome. I mean, you cross this bridge. It's very close to the Tampa General Hospital. You cross this bridge, and it just feels like a place of its own. It really does change the whole vibe by just crossing over to this island, just because it's 360 surrounded by water. But again, you're South Tampa, downtown Tampa, Channelside, Ybor City. You're in the heart of it all. It's a prime location just because it's just a special little pocket. And it really feels that way. Okay, so what we have here is we have a townhouse. It's in Villa Del Mar Townhomes is what the subdivision's called, and you kind of see here. So these are 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath. It's listed at $765,000, so you can kind of see it's its own enclave. These were built in 2005. And this was 14 days on market, so just about 2 weeks exactly. And then you're going to see kind of like Davis Island, super unique, you know, it really feels like you're on like a island all by yourself here. So Davis Island's lovely. It's quaint. It's got a lot of charm. There's shops, restaurants, coffee, bars. You can walk to it all from here. This one has 10-foot high ceilings, a 2-car garage, and 2 private balconies. So we're going to kind of flick through here. You have $460 a month of average fees as a part of this association. Kind of give you an idea here of what this looks like. And the taxes on this were just under $5,000 annually. It's not too bad for some of these more turnkey type of spots, but relatively affordable in perspective for getting like kind of a single family type of living in Davis Island. So I think that would be some of the appeal here. But you kind of get the idea. Here's your balconies. I was trying to get to. Yeah, so kind of like, you see what I mean by the charm, kind of old school. This was built in 2005, but you know, got like a Coliseum type of feel to it. There's your garage in the rear. So again, a lot of this is about not just the listing, but I want to highlight the areas. And you kind of get an idea if you hopped around, because it's a broad area, right? If you hopped around, like kind of where your money translates. Okay, so the next one's interesting. So the next one, I'm super familiar with like what this one is. So what you can see here, this is a new construction, and this is in North Hyde Park. So traditionally, like Hyde Park is just like this, it's like the nicest bungalows you've ever seen. So it's very historic, but very like upper tier historic. It's around good schools. It's just in the heart of everything. Very close to the University of Tampa. It's got this downtown Hyde Park village that's lovely, very new, clean. It's a solid spot. North Hyde Park was historically a little choppy. It's just kind of like sitting on the outskirts, and it hadn't quite, you know, these areas are so old, sometimes it takes a while to like get the whole area a little up just based on when things change hands and the history of it. North Hyde Park was kind of in that realm, but just because of proximity, like it just sits here, that district, it's becoming really, really developed. And you can get some interesting opportunities right now because you're like, you know, 5 minutes from what people would consider the best, but you can save 200 grand by just staying up here. Interesting. So within that vein, there's a to-be-built new construction opportunity at 580. So this is built by Domain Homes, which I've done a lot with them, and what they primarily do is urban infill. So what they're doing is they're doing like semi-custom homes, like if you went in like a development like Taylor Morrison or DeVosta or something like that, but they're doing it on existing lots. So you're going to get a more prime location that's not a subdivision, and they're basically doing tear downs, and they're basically just, rather than you finding a lot, finding a builder, all that, they're basically buying this stuff up in advance. They have a bunch of models they've already built, so they're basically making the process easier and controlling it. So when you get to that, where we would build this for 580, what else do you want? And you get an advantage of closer to town typically. Urban infill is going to give you an existing neighborhood, so typically bigger lots closer to stuff, versus like a subdivision where they need enough room to build it and they're going to have to go on the outskirts. So this gives you a really prime location under 600K and a full-on. So this one, what they're looking at is it's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, and again, Domain Homes, and this is the ECRIT model. And they do a really good job. I've done like 6 or 7 with them, and it's really nice stuff. Staff's awesome. They do a really good job. 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 580K is their listed price. This one is kind of, it's a good opportunity because the permitting is supposed to be done by February 2021. So you're probably looking at maybe like a 6-month build in addition to the permitting. So they've already paved a little bit of that work for you. So you could be in there definitely 2021. This one. So I think what are we on 4? Number 4. Number 4 is Charter, and Charter is one of my favorite locations. So Charter is in Riverside Heights. So kind of, a lot of this should give you perspective of like where we're moving. So we did Channelside here, Davis Island here, North Hyde Park here, Riverside's right here. So it gets a little bit north. Riverside Heights is like a really special little pocket. So a lot of the development is running along the river right here. And Riverside Heights is this like kind of pocket neighborhood that is a mix of like urban infill building, like I just mentioned, and people are knocking down these homes and getting like, building these larger homes or like historic remodels. So you can get kind of that traditional bungalow type of housing, but not a 1950s quality level build. And it's just so I have a house like kind of over here in here, but it's basically like less than a mile from University of Tampa. It's really close to Armature Works, this new 20,000 square foot mixed use space, awesome area. And it gives you like a really kind of affordable way to be in an unbelievable location, in my opinion. And so that's kind of Riverside Heights, and we can get more context on that in other video. But so what this one is this one's located off of Charter Street, and this one is going to be a remodel that's going to let someone swoop in and basically custom the remodel, which is kind of cool. So they've already acquired this kind of thing. It's a huge lot, but you're not going to see a ton of pictures here because that's what they're trying to do. So this neighbor's all about like getting a nice spot and then figuring out the house later a lot of times. So it's just the property is the value here. So what you got here is, again, River Heights is the neighborhood. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Now it's going to be a remodel, so that can be expanded. It's they're coming out at $750,000, basically the end of the remodel, which has already been spec'd out. It'll be 8 days on market, and you can see this one runs right along the river. So before remodel, this is $4,400 in taxes a year. But after remodel, you're most likely going to take a hit on that increase of value because what we're looking at here is not worth $750,000. And this one uniquely is on a 1/3 of an acre lot, so that's really nice too. So again, there's a lot of advantages to remodeling or doing an urban infill on an existing lot because of size, custom features. And I've been really hot on this topic lately because inventory has been, it kind of sucks. So this gives you an opportunity to go the best of both worlds, really. We are going to hop to Emma Street. So Emma Street sits right here. So our last one, Riverside Heights here. Tampa Heights is another area that kind of on that fringe of this new area that's really being built up. And again, a great way to do relatively affordable in the grand scheme of bungalow living. So this one has been remodeled. It's our last one to be remodeled. This is a good example of full remodel. So this one's at $480K. So severely cheaper than the last one. But pretty close by. It's 4 days on market. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. The development is called Prospect Place, and this is technically Seminole Heights, and it's this was completely rebuilt in 2021. So that almost better than a remodel because of I don't love the laminate floor here, but because they're going to do a lot of the structural stuff, and the 2020-21 code is going to be obviously much better because this was built in 1941. So this one, last year they paid $1,000 in taxes because it was basically nothing. Probably going to be hopping to that $4,500 a year in taxes. But a lot of people love this bungalow stuff, especially for Tampa. If you just don't want like a modern new house, this will give you all the efficiencies of a new house, but in the area you probably want. But yeah, kind of get the idea here, right? But I was seeing if it showed some. Yeah. So this one had a deck, a big yard. It's on a 0.2 acres. A lot bigger than they're going to build these new houses on for the most part, and kind of nicely situated on the lot. So it's not like a 1/3 of an acre, but because of the way it sits, you have a big backyard, a big front yard, and some generous sides. And because it was a remodel, you have the mature trees and all that kind of stuff. And again, this is a really solid location. So South Seminole Heights here. So you have the River District right here. There's tons of eclectic breweries, bars and shops and restaurants, tons of young people, all these front porch living events. Tampa really loves the bungalow lifestyle for sure. So I thought this one was interesting. So let's hop to number 6. So number 6 is we're going back down south, and it's a brand new to-be-built townhome. I'll show you where it's located. It's right here. So again, we had our Hyde Park here, and this gets you a little bit closer, running along Bayshore Boulevard here. So yeah, I'm sure you've heard the longest continuous sidewalk in, I think it's America. But this area is just lovely. So you're just chock with $1 million houses that, these front facing ones. They do the Gasparilla events down here, and, just awesome location. You can see on a map here. So you have your bay here, your golf over here. So cool location. And this, because of the townhome, because of the type it is, not being a single family, it gives you a way, way more attractive price point than you'd be able to achieve in similar locations, different house. Okay, so I'm a big fan of these contemporary ones, so I love the style, but you have this is called Shore House, has not been completed yet. 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath at $665,000. Not a ton of pictures, but I wanted to give you an idea of the style and the location. So these have these kind of terraces that overlook, everything. A really nice location, and I thought the price point under $700 was really interesting, just to kind of grab and see what happens later in that area, if you have the means. And the monthly fees on this are $266. So when I first saw it, I thought immediately this was going to be condo similarities. But this one they view them as they're kind of standalone townhomes, just connected, so you have the cheaper price point. But I really like the style. So again, pre-construction to be built. This one really easy commutes to downtown, MacDill Air Force Base, if you have any relevance there. Tampa General Hospital. It's really close to the West Shore Business District too. 7. So I know everybody's not going to be living just only in the South Tampa and surrounding areas. So I want to show a little bit of the suburbs and a little bit of the areas that are interesting because a little bit slower pace of life, a little bit more suburban housing, but also like a pretty coolly situated west of downtown. So they're not bad commutes in. That's really important for Tampa. Being in the wrong spot, traffic is not super fun. So this one sits right here on the fringes of West Chase, north of Town and Country, Citrus Park. So a lot of like suburban housing over here and some older areas. So you get a little bit more space. So this one is located off of Clementine. Pull it up here. So this is called Cypress Chase is this neighborhood. It's a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath at $600,000 exactly. And it's just 1 week on the market. So this one is was just built last year, so you kind of have a new construction without having to wait. And I'll kind of talk through a little bit while I flick. So this one was built by Taylor Morrison, which does a ton of communities all up and down Tampa and also a lot in like Sarasota suburbs. And this is the Barbados model, and they did a really nice job with it. So this is just real turnkey, and again, brand new. So no flood zone here, and only $156 a month HOA. So, and then you're on almost 0.2 acres. So, and because it's Taylor Morrison, you can look these models up online and like know exactly what you're getting floor plan wise, which is cool. I'll flick through a little bit, and they just did some cool features with it. This is pretty decked out for a new construction. So they have like a loft upstairs, carpet in the bedrooms. Get to the outside here. So you got a little deck off the front there. And where's the backyard? Okay. So you got a sprayed concrete patio. It's pretty wide, it looks like. You could do fans in here, and then pretty big backyard, and it's on a little body of water. So really nice. So this one, this kind of area, it's really close to like a lot of like shops and stuff. It's a mature area, so just a couple minutes from grocery stores. There's like Sprouts and Starbucks and Aldi, Costco, CVS, pretty much everything, Publix. And then the cool thing is you're 5 minutes from downtown West Chase, which is basically like its own little Pleasantville. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Lakewood Ranch in a smaller way. It's got its own like town and pubs and grocery stores and restaurants and a lot of golf. You're 10 minutes from Tampa International Airport, 20 minutes to this area, which is the South Hyde Park area, and you're also about 20 minutes from downtown. So it gives you a little bit more suburban lifestyle, but again, you're not getting way out if you just want to drive 10, 15 miles into work. Okay, number 8, we're going to hop back down to Davis Island where our townhome was, and we're going to kind of give the polar opposite of the suburbs. So this one's here, and this is kind of what, if you went all out like single family house in this versus kind of that townhome, and that's kind of why I was explaining the attractiveness of that price. This is what you could do. So this is, again, Davis Island, and it's just basically the subdivision's kind of like called Davis Islands. It's a 6-bedroom, 5.5 bath, and it's listed just under $5 million. So right on the water, metal roof, just Key West style, pretty much decked out, right? So it's located on the cool thing about this one is located on the widest part of the widest canal, and offers beautiful views of the whole thing. You kind of see the aerials here. So I love these kind of turf yards with open pools, especially if you're on the water. So the kind of balconies and stuff overlook the pool, the yard, covered, and there's a covered dock with a $14,000 boat lift. So I'll show some more pictures here. This one's about $28,000 they paid in taxes annually last year. But you kind of see this massive size. It's 5,000 square feet under central air. So the pictures aren't the greatest, unfortunately, for this kind of house, which is kind of a bummer. But you can get the idea. So your elevator here. Flick through a little bit more. So a little bit eclectic with the design, but really just unbelievable location here. So you have 65. Take a picture of this. Awesome. You have 65 feet of water frontage there on that dock. And it's a little over 0.2 acres. So there's 100 pictures here. I'm going to flick really fast and get to some more of the outdoor stuff. Not my favorite listing presentation here, but I think maybe the house just speaks for itself. But okay, so here you go. So yeah, obviously this is the selling point, so that's the front. But So big open area, it flows nice into the pool. Again, like, and I love how they set that so that you don't lose room for the kids' playground, and you still got yard in addition, and the whole thing just looks seamless outside. Really tropical feel, really cool. Love the Key West style. So anyway, cool spot. So I wanted to show that. So again, this is $5 million on Davis Island. Number 9, we're gonna hop kind of in between here. So this one's in Palma, Ceia, right here. And Palma, Ceia is an interesting location because again, it's like that kind of like North Hyde Park, the proximity to everything right here. But just the price points are so much, it just doesn't have as much of like just unbelievable houses in a row. So like Tampa's so street to street, like the best areas are basically like as many of like streets and amenities put together, but there's always gonna be these kind of like older, like generational houses that just haven't got there yet. Palma Ceia just has a little bit more of that, but location on a map, unbelievable. Price point also I think is pretty attractive. So this one, we'll flick through here. So this one's listed in Palma Ceia Park, and it's at $528,000. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, built in 1949, and it's 2 days on market, and it's not in a flood zone, which is cool. So this one doesn't. This one's kind of an open book, right? But I like the location a lot. It's not bad. I'm not go back and forth on the price point, but it'll be interesting to see what happens with this one. But brand new to the market, and they paid about $3,100 in taxes last year. It's a little cheaper total cost of ownership here. And, there's some large houses around it. And again, it's just really close to the city. This on a smaller lot, about 1/10 of an acre, which is going to be like a lot of new construction homes, size lots. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to move from this one, but just want to kind of show you a little bit of a lower price point in a good area. And let's hop to number 10. Last one, we're going to hop back to the suburbs, and we're going to look at a pretty unique one if you're looking for a little bit more space and a little bit off the beaten path, but still pretty close to town nonetheless. So this one is over here, as you can see. Near that other one we were talking about, above West Chase. It's called Citrus Park. There's a mall there, a lot of suburban housing. Again, you're just shooting down here for work. If you work down in the major areas, or you can even go up and over. So it gives you a little bit. The cool part about this I didn't mention, it gives you kind of easier access to Oldsmar and Palma Harbor and Dunedin, which are really lovely spots in their own outright. So let's hop in and take a look here. So this one is located in Woodbriar West. It's a 4-bedroom, 2.5-bath. And this one has a private pool, which is nice. So it was built in 1980, and obviously portions of it are redone. Some more crappy photos here, unfortunately, but about 18 days on the market, and I think I mentioned price, $449,000, 2,500 square feet, not in a flood zone because it's kind of out there. And this one's cool because it's a quieter community. It's got a private lake in there. There's no CDD at all. And the HOA is pretty low. It's like annual, like I think it's $5 a month on average. Unique parts about this one is it's fully fenced, in-ground saltwater pool. It's got an attached spa you can see here. This one has about 1,100 square foot garage. So that's kind of cool if you need a workshop or a gym or something like that. And this one's pretty easy to get over to, and the lot size is 1/3 of an acre. So that would be a little bit of the appeal here. It's really close to the Veterans Expressway for commuting, which runs you to a lot of places. The Citrus Park Mall, which I already mentioned, and it's not bad to get to most parts of Tampa Bay. Second edition of Friday Favorites, and this one was all about Tampa Bay. I hope that was helpful. Please subscribe, please like. I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to put the other Friday Favorites somewhere in here at the end of the video. I'm also going to put some, I got a lot of Tampa content, so I'll put some of the best of Tampa here. And thank you again for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.